You ready?
Yep.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
Back out here on these highways and hedges again. Another day to make our calling and election sure. It's your brother Kalab, also go by Hope, Grace, and Mercy.
I'm the brother Live. Also go by Heart of David.
All right, and we out here again, meeting up at camp in Louisville, Texas. Again, another opportunity to make our calling and election sure. And before we go any further, let's face the east. Give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Radash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who rule well, teach well, where we learn this truth. Also, sending a hearty shalom to the brothers that's out there on the highways and hedges, making their bodies a living sacrifice. And peace and salutations to the hopefully elect out there.
Yep, shalom.
Okay. Before we get started with today's lesson, we're going to just read a couple of articles from the End Time headline, you know, for those who don't get opportunity to hear about some of the most current events, you know, but at this point, you know, you should be happy to check out all these current events because there's so many things coming out, you know, it's impossible to keep up with this stuff, man. It's stuff coming out every day, all day long, you know, and we'll start with this one. It says China, Russia, and North Korea, China, Russia, North Korea, and Iran are all investing in ways to nuke America. You know, so all these nations, man, you know, the cat is out the bag. You know, they know that this whore is weak. You know, that they know that this place is going down, man. They tired, you know, they tired of drinking the wine of Babylon, man. You want to say something?
Man, yeah, so like you say, the country's investing in ways to destroy America. Meaning they putting in great effort in figuring out how they gonna burn this place to the ground. Yep. So while everybody wake up every morning, you know, they drink their coffee, they may put on a TV show, they figuring out what they gonna do for the day. These other countries, they trying to figure out how they gonna end your day.
Right.
Because that's only gonna last for so long, your day-to-day routines.
Yep. Shalom to the brother Amawan Yasharala.
Shalom to the big brother. Amawan. Shalom to my mom, daughter, Yahweh. She said it's great to see us out here.
Shalom. Yep. All right, and yeah, you know, like the average kid on that article to back up what the brother was talking about, you know, the average kid waking up in the morning wondering what he gonna eat or what game he gonna play today or, you know, what he gonna wear to school. But these other nations, they waking up, you know, thinking about hitting that button. Yeah. You know, they thoughts are not like our thoughts, man. You know, they telling Babylon the Great, hey, man, we not the same, man. Yeah. You know, they want to end this place, man.
And Cyrus right on time.
Man.
Hey, one day it's gonna be that nuclear siren.
Yep. And we gonna be like, yes.
Yep.
All right. Next article says dangerous levels of Let me let this judgment van ride by real quick. Yes.
Hey, those people, they probably woke up today, had some coffee, you know, figuring out what they're gonna do later, what they're gonna do tomorrow. Right. You know, the Most High, none of their thoughts.
Right. Telling they people, hey, yeah, you know, we're gonna do some pork ribs for Sunday, so make sure y'all come over. You know, how about Shemi Awashai say, I don't know about all that, man.
Hey, they thinking about the Most High now?
Yeah, for real. But they probably calling on God and Jesus. All right, next article says dangerous levels of toxic metal discovered in store-bought juices, plant-based milks, teas, and sodas. So, you know, that ain't by accident. It's all by design. You know, this wicked place, man, they want to poison the food the water you drink, the food you eat, the air you breathe. Hey, man, it's a perfect time to get up out of here, man. All right, it says, next article says, Bank of Canada becomes the latest central bank to advance its CBDC agenda. Hey, man, the time is hasting.
Yeah, that digital currency coming.
Sure.
What they say Fed now, July, June, they gonna go, America gonna go default mode.
Yep.
So that seemed to line up perfect, you know what I'm saying?
Yep, and it says that article came out said that Babylon the Great could possibly run out of money June 1st. You know,
We hope they do.
that's a beautiful thing, man. This is another one dealing with the border. It says border crossings are topping 10,000 daily as migrants seek U.S. entry before Title 42 ends, and we know that thing done already ended already.
Yeah.
So you know they got our Issachar brothers and there's other nations, you know, amongst them sneaking into to Babylon as well. You know, because I've been seeing articles about how Moab and them,
The Chinese
coming through YouTube, how they had like nine individuals from India at the border, right? And all 9 of them was calling 911 to get the border people out there to come help them, right? So when the border people got down there, they was like, they from India. That's not a border country. The cartel had those people 911 signal and have the cops occupied so they can get their loads. I was like, wow,
Dang.
you know?
Dang, see?
You know, the cartel just paid those people to do that. So, because they called in the federal agents that be the border patrol, and they all pulled up, and they was like, they do this all the time. So why they got us occupied? They somewhere down the border getting stuff over. Oh,
River and like going up a mountain and stuff.
oh yeah. And was that the one when the agents was standing there not trying to let them cross?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Right, so America's gonna be invaded. Really, America
yeah.
is already infiltrated.
Oh yeah.
So this place, the invasion gonna happen like that.
Right.
You know, it ain't gonna be much that gotta happen.
And a majority of those people who gonna invade it, they probably already here. You know, just chilling.
Hey, we here. We gonna invade this place too.
Oh yeah. That's gonna be the best invasion, the final invasion. All right. It's Chase Bank. It says Jamie Dimon warns that panic it's debt default. And we know when Babylon can't get their money out the bank, dollar has collapsed. You know, the money you got at home, you might as well just use it for toilet paper. Man, these people gonna bug out, man. It's gonna be a beautiful thing to sit back. We're gonna be popping popcorn.
Yup.
You know,
I'm gonna light up my grill.
right.
I'm like, the banks ain't working. I'm gonna light this grill up.
Light the grill up.
I'm gonna eat, take a nap.
People gonna be screaming. That's gonna be the new sound of Babylon. People just screaming all the time, you know.
Yeah.
Right. Last has 36 hours. So you know, man, this thing is definitely at its peak. Oh, I got one more. It says Britain has just delivered long-range Storm Shadow cruise missiles to Ukraine ahead of expected counter-offensive. So, hey man, like I said, I mean, these just the articles that I found, that we brought out through the power spirit of Yahweh Shemi Yahweh Shai. It's so much more, man. You know, it's little gems everywhere you can find about, you know what I'm saying, Babylon the Great and prophecy going out.
And why do we care about world news and what's going on in politics? Because it's prophecy.
Yep. Right. You want to go and get into the list?
Yeah, so this lesson here, we're going to get into trusting the Lord. Yeah, this lesson, we're going to talk about the importance of trusting the Lord and pretty much that. We're going to show the reward for putting your trust in Him, but we're going to show the penalty for when you fail to put your trust in the Lord. Sure, let's go right into it. For it is good, for it is Yahweh which worketh in you, both to will and to do of His good pleasure. And that was after my mom said it's good to see us out here. Hey, so Yahweh Shemi Yahweh Shai put it in us to do what's pleasing to him.
Yep.
And when you do what's pleasing to him, ultimately you trust in the Lord, which leads right up into the lesson.
Right. Like the scripture said, when a man's ways please the Lord. I was on lunch break going to get me and my reel some food the other day, and you know I wasn't paying attention. I was speeding, and you know, Texas law police officer jumped right behind me. You know, he got right behind me. As soon as I pulled over, he walked up to the car. He was like, I told him my name. Said, "Is the car insured?" I said, "Yeah." I gave him my license. He said, "I'm gonna let you off with a warning." You know what I'm saying? I didn't even get a chance to, you know, get the car all the way and park and stop it before he was at the window telling me, "Yeah, just let me off with a warning."
Dang, that's
You
tight.
know?
That's tight.
You know, that never happens, really.
That's tight.
Never happens, man.
That's tight.
So call Lord Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah for this truth, man, for your will being done.
Yup. The brother Amawan Yashala also posted this, which, you know, goes right into the lesson. Ezekiel 3:17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them a warning from me. And that's what's pleasing to the Lord.
Yep.
And the two things we did. We heard the word in the spirit, and then we giving it to our people. And ultimately, we giving a warning.
And then just one more thing to add to that before we get started. Right while I was driving, you know, I was listening to an edifying lesson. And the brother I was listening to, he was saying at the times we in right now, you better be calling on the names of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And you know, while I was driving, man, it was like, it was all planned already. Because as soon as he said that, I called on the names of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, giving him thanks. Roop, roop. You know what I'm saying? As soon as I said that, I seen the cop. He turned around, turned the lights on, and it all happened. But man, it was like a 40-second interaction, and I was, you know, moseying on down the road, man. So, right, first precept we bringing out is coming from the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2 and verse 10. And it reads, look at the generations of old and see Salak, let me get that again. Look at the generation of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? So, you know, that's going in, you know, even from the times of before times up until now. You know, those who truly seeking Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai in true faith and sincerity, you know, they was never confounded. You know, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai has always came through for them, just like he gonna do in the time to come, the elect. You know, he gonna come through for us who seeking him in all true faith and sincerity.
Yep, because putting your trust in the Lord, you know, Christians say that loosely, but don't know what that means. You know, trusting in the Lord is trusting in his word. You know, what he said was going to happen. And something I heard in the world, they said the Bible stands for basic instructions before leaving earth. Yeah. So really, this book is a book of instruction. Yeah. Really a survival book. How to get out of this maze, this pit called America. And when you trust in the instructions, you won't be confounded, you won't put to shame.
Right, and it's also like if we was putting together a dining room table or some type of, you know, TV set or something like that. You got the instructions that come with it, but if you go off on your own and try to do it on your own, you know, it ain't gonna be put together the way it was supposed to be put together. You know, and these are instructions that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai gave us. We gotta follow his instructions.
Yep.
You know, to put this thing together.
Yep. And yeah, because it's really, this Bible is a manual. It's a manual for the elect. It's not for all people. And the brother Walak Lahab, he posted Shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai with Barakadah. He posted Psalm 68:19. Blessed be the Lord who daily loaded us with benefits, even the God of our salvation. Yep. Yeah, so the benefits, the blessing from following these instructions.
Sure. Next precept, you gonna get something?
Nope, that was it.
Okay. Next precept is coming from the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3 and verse 16, and it reads, all scripture is given by inspiration of Yahweh thy power, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness.
Yeah, see that? It says all scripture is given. You know, by Yahweh, by Shem Yahweh Shai. All scripture is profitable. All scripture is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, correction, and last of all, instruction. So all these scriptures will be instructions for the elect on how to navigate through these times we're coming into. That's right, Romans 15:4, the things written aforetime was written for our learning. That through patience and hope and patience and comfort of the scriptures, you might have hope. And we got hope because we got the instructions on what to do.
And without those instructions, not only will we not even know how screwed we are, but we, you know, at the end of the day, you know, that would make us a 2/3. Lord willing, we are part of that number, that elect number that will be saved. But you know, not to have these instructions, and when that second comes, when you find out what you should have been doing other than being in your bag or trusting in Babylon the Great, trying to further yourself, saying, I'm going to go to the NFL, I'm going to be the next big rapper. You know, when that time comes to pass, when you realize that you should have been seeking Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai in these last days, man, that's going to be a pitiful case that you're going to be in, man.
Oh yeah, not knowing what to do. Because you ain't going to have really time to think on what to do. You got to be moving through the spirit, going off the instincts.
And that's going to leave you putting that dining room table together with no instruction manual. It didn't come in the box for you.
Hey, yeah.
You know?
Hey, that's why the Lord said, thou prepared us a table.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom. Oh, baby. I said, our brother Hope gonna deal with the visitors we got, so we gonna keep it going. So, 2 Timothy 3:16, again, it says all scripture is profitable. So we shouldn't skip not one line, not one verse. You got Christians to say, well, that was back in the Bible days. Well, this book is a living book. We in the Bible days right now. Even when we in the kingdom, we in the Bible days. Because the Bible really covers all of eternity. The past, the now, and the future. So you can't not read one thing and say, you know, that don't apply now. You know, all scripture is profitable. And again, for doctrine correction, but most of all instructions. All right, so now we're going to go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 5. Proverbs chapter 3 and 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart. And how do you trust in the Lord? You follow the instruction manual. The instructions, which would pretty much be this word in its entirety. So again, trust in the word with all thine, forgive me. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not on thine own understanding. So yeah, you can't go off what you believe or what you know. Because it clearly just said, don't lean on your own understanding. That's a commandment. So those are the two sides of the spectrum. First, the Lord said, trust on him. And then he said, don't lean on your own understanding. Not only on your own understanding, but don't lean on somebody else's understanding. Hey, because the understanding of man is really no different. It's all of the flesh. Pretty much what we building up to.
Brother,
all right.
They good, brother. They teach out there in Arlington.
Okay.
He say they live out here, but he said he was passing by the week before last. He seen us out here.
Oh,
He
bet.
came back around the same time, and bam, here we was out here good.
Oh, bet.
I got the brother information. We'll hit a link on afterwards.
Okay, that's a bet. I'm gonna finish up. I'm gonna read verses
Sorry
5.
for that.
Oh no, it's all good. I just picked up at Proverbs 3 and 5.
You want me to read it over?
Yeah, that's cool.
All right. Book of Proverbs, chapter 3. Well, I just got to say this, man. You know, it's a wonderful thing, man, to just continue to see, you know, brothers and sisters come up out the blue from nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Saying shalom. You know, not only just saying shalom, but they going somewhere to teach.
Yeah.
You know, they on their way to go somewhere and bring a lesson out, man. It's a beautiful thing to understand this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Having eyes to see and ears to hear, man. But out of all these cars passing by, you know, we could so easily be some of these people who ain't gonna never pay this truth no attention, man.
Yeah.
And I just had to bring that out real quick before we get back into the lesson.
Oh, done.
All right. Starting back up at Proverbs chapter 3, reading at verse 5, and it says, "Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths."
So yeah, trusting in the Lord is trusting in his word.
Sir.
Don't lean on your own understanding or somebody else's understanding. Because what did the end of verse 6 say? It says, he shall direct thy paths.
Yep.
You know, you shouldn't direct your paths, or you can't trust another man to direct your paths, but this word.
And that's what we've been doing all our life. We've been letting Deacon Doodoo and Pope Top Pastor, you know what I'm saying, direct our paths, you know what I'm saying, for a large percentage of our life. You know, them so-called pastors definitely lean into their own understanding. They never going into prophecy, put that money in the collection plate. We gonna blast you with 36 songs, you know what I'm saying, and I'll see you next week. You know, all hell breaking loose. You know, I ain't been to the Christianity church in years, but I just know how I know how it's going. You know what I'm saying? All hell breaking loose right now, and tomorrow they gonna just be in there telling you, God is Jesus, Jesus is good, and everybody gonna be going crazy.
They gonna be clapping.
Yeah, hitting backwards flips. Ain't no scriptures coming out of nothing, man. And then when they get in the car, ooh, I needed that word. Pastor ain't come out with no scriptures, man.
No, nothing.
Not nothing, man. And my stepdaddy a pastor. And like I had said a couple of weeks ago, they was at our house, my mom and my stepdad, and I was going over some the word with one of my aunts. They have always said she was crazy because she don't believe in Jesus and stuff like that. Ever since I was a kid. And I finally realized, because she know that, you know, Cesare Borgia, you know, is not his name. It's not our power. And my stepdad is supposed to be a so-called pastor. He got 3 churches. We over here going over the scriptures and stuff like that, and he all in la land, as if he don't even hear us and stuff. You know, and my wife had brought it to my attention too. She was like, here y'all is going over scriptures and stuff like that, and your stepdad is supposed to be a pastor, and he ain't got nothing to say.
Yeah.
And I just be like, that's how it goes in those churches. They doing
sure.
a lot of talking, but they really ain't saying nothing though.
Yeah. They worship Yahweh Shah with their lips in the church, but his heart is far from them.
Right. Exactly. That's a every Sunday thing, man. And it's displaying throughout their lives as well.
Yeah.
All right. Next precept is coming from the book of Romans, chapter 8, and verse 5, and it reads, "For they that are
Verse 6.
Verse 6.
Yes.
Okay. So like Romans chapter 8 and verse 6, and it reads, "For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace."
And what does it mean to be carnally minded? When you leaning on your own understanding.
Yep.
And what does it mean to be spiritually minded? When you trusting in the Lord with all your heart. Hey, because leaning on your own understanding, that's gonna get you put to death. If it ain't today, it's gonna be at a later date. Ultimately, leaning on your own understanding gonna lead to the nuclear missiles. Hey, but being spiritually minded, trusting in the words of the Spirit, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, hey, that's gonna lead to life and peace. And we got peace right now. You know, we've been set free of that mental bondage. That's gonna lead to us really being redeemed on the chariots. Hey, and trusting, being spiritually minded, that's when you trust the instructions that's written in this book. You can't trust your own instructions or another man's instructions, because it's gonna fail you every time.
Yep. And being carnally minded is gonna have you hungry, you know what I'm saying, in Jacob's trouble. And being spiritually minded is gonna have you eating, being merry, you know what I'm saying, having an abundance. And that's the difference, you know. That's the difference in between the two. And that's why we out here. It's like, honestly, we could just be out here saying, danger is coming, danger is coming, danger is coming for 2 or 3 hours. These people gonna look at us the same way that they looking at us right now, bringing out these prophecies.
Yeah.
You know, they just don't care, man. They just don't get it. You know, but we don't know who gonna wake up. We don't know who not gonna wake up. We got here for fishing for the elect, though.
Yeah.
All right, reading on. Because the carnal mind is enmity against Yahweh thy power, for it is not subject to the law, nor Yahweh thy power, neither indeed can be.
And what does enmity mean? It means hatred.
Yep.
So to be carnally minded, believing, leaning on your own understanding, leaning on another man's understanding, hey, that's hated by Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah.
Yep.
Because you listening to man rather than the Most High. Whoever you listen to, that's your master. You know, whether you know it or not. So that's why it's hated by the Lord. It's pretty much like if our girl, you know, we tell our girl something, and then she go get another man's opinion or another man's word.
Right.
You're like, what I'm here for?
Right.
You know,
right.
if you trust him so much, well, why don't you go be with him?
Right.
And so that's why it's hated by Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. And that's why it leads to death. And because the Lord gonna make sure your understanding leads to death, because he created all things.
Yep.
He also created events and scenarios. I'm gonna grab a couple scriptures real quick.
Go ahead.
All right, so from the brother Amon Yashala, Proverbs 13 and 18. Poverty and shame shall be to him that refuseth instruction. And what's that instruction that you refuse? The words of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh. All right, let's continue. But he that regardeth reproof shall be honored. So when you regard reproof in the instruction, you know, being corrected, and now that you hear this word, you're gonna be honored from above. Also too, Proverbs chapter 1 verses 2 through 4. To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive instruction of wisdom, justice and judgment, and equity, to give subtlety to the simple, to the young man, knowledge and discretion. Yeah, and that's all accomplished by this word right here. Got anything you want to add? Hold on, go ahead. I got a couple more. All right, from the brother Malak Lahab, Revelation 22 and 6. And he said unto me, these sayings are faithful and true. What sayings? The saying in this book, the prophecies, the instructions. Let's continue. And the Lord Yahweh, the holy prophets, to his angel to show unto his servants the things which must surely be done. And the things that must surely be done will be the prophecies. Sir. You know, the Lord gave instructions to the angels, the spirits created for vengeance, on how to bring about the plagues that's going to come to America. And the Lord provided us with instructions on how to be preserved on the things to come. And the way to summarize those instructions is pretty much trusting the Lord.
Sir, and that's what we waiting on. We waiting on Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah to make good on his word. We know he gonna do it. We just sitting back and enjoying the ride.
Yep, he gonna make good on his word, but is we gonna make good on our word?
Right.
Is we gonna trust him and not lean on our own understanding?
Right.
That's what it's gonna come down to. Right. And because the scriptures say you can't just be a knower of the word, you gotta be a doer of the word. Hey, so knowing that's only half of it. And then one more, go ahead. Ezekiel 33, verses 31. And they came unto thee as the people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people. And they hear thy words, but they will not do them. And that's the spirit. That's what the brother posted. Yes, sir. We had already went that direction. All right, let's continue. Keep it going. For with their mouth they show much love, and their heart goeth after their covetousness. So with their mouth, they honor Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. But in their heart, hey, they go after the ways of the flesh. They being carnally minded, which leads to death, which is hated by Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai.
I'm gonna grab that precept to back that up. Justified.
Yep.
Just be a hearer of the word.
Okay, that's the best. And that's why Yahweh Shai's name means he saves, he delivers. Meaning part of him being created by the Most High was to save us in these last days. Right. So if you leaning on your own understanding, you canceling out Yahweh Shai.
And just to back up what the brother was saying, to go along with what the brother brought out, also, Romans chapter 2 and verse 13. For not the hearers of the law are just before Yahweh thy power, but the doers of the law shall be justified. So you definitely can't just hear this word and be good. You know what I'm saying? You gotta hear this word and also execute on this word as well, man. Because if you really truly seeking Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, you know what I'm saying? Hearing this word and knowing this word, it should trigger other actions and things to go off into your life. You should be walking different, talking different. You know what I'm saying? Moving different throughout Babylon the Great. You know what I'm saying? You should be, you know what I'm saying, get ready to exit this place. You know what I'm saying? Putting off this world. Putting off that weak nature, man.
Hey, yup. Because, you know, what you do, that's wisdom. Wisdom ain't what you know. It's what you do with what you know. Wisdom is how you move. I think, paraphrasing the definition of wisdom, it's applied knowledge. So what you know, but how you put it to use. And being a doer of the law, that ain't just the 10 Commandments. That's really just whole word. But in summary, hey, trusting on the Lord. Hey, because one of those things that we got to do that's not in the original 10 Commandments is not taking a microchip. So it goes beyond just the 10 Commandments.
Sure. And that's the time that we in right now. You know, a lot of our people gonna take it because they don't know. You know, you got some of our people that know not to take it, but they still gonna take it. Yep. You know, and I'm just praying that Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, you know, he keep that spirit on us to endure to the end, no matter what. We know it's finna get worse. We know it's finna get hot in the kitchen. You know, we know it's finna, you know, times is about to be like no other time has ever been a nation on this earth. But hey, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, he has a appointed time for a certain amount of people to elect, you know what I'm saying, to endure. And Lord willing, we are part of that number.
Hey, yup.
All right.
So yeah, that's an importance. And not leaning on your own understanding, not being carnally minded. Hey, because everything in the earth's gonna fail us. Sure. So we're gonna need divine intervention. That begins with this word. Hearing these words of wisdom, this instruction.
Making Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai your strong tower right now.
Hey, and also you gotta be careful how you hear. Hey, there's a bunch of people that hear this word, hey, but they don't hear the word correctly.
Oh yeah.
You gotta be careful how you hear, and the Lord said that. What's the brother about to get right now?
All right. Coming from the book of Mark, chapter 4 and verse 24. And he reads, and he said unto them, that's Yahweh Shai, and he said unto them, take heed what ye hear.
Right there. Hey, that's beginning to be one of my favorite scriptures. Can you read that again?
Come on. And he said unto them, take heed what ye hear.
Yeah, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai said, listen carefully. Be careful how you listen. Be careful what you hear. Because if you hear anything else, that's what? It's going to lead to death.
Yep.
Because you misheard. Hey, in the ancient world, you got to listen carefully when the king talking.
Yeah.
Because if not, that's off with his head.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, and that's no different now.
Right.
The ancient ways about to be reestablished, beginning with this word.
Sir.
Yahweh Shai said plain and clear, beware, be careful how you hear.
Right.
You know, when somebody say be careful, that's a warning. That means there's danger behind the words that's about to be spoken to you. And yet, because there's danger behind this word.
And the king, he's been speaking for a while.
Yeah.
You know, some people ain't taking to heed of what he's telling them. So guess what? A lot of our people is about to be off with their heads.
Yep.
or however y'all by Shimmy outside choose to give you judgment.
Yeah, because your spirit got to be aligned when you hear this word that you may perceive it correctly. When it's perceived correctly, you're being spiritually minded. You're going to hear what the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is trying to tell us. If you perceive these words incorrectly, you're hearing the words in the flesh, you're being carnally minded, which we know being carnally minded leads to death.
Sir.
So you got to hear it correctly. Be careful.
All right. Reading on. With what measure ye meet, it shall be measured to you, and unto Salaki, and unto you that hear shall more be given.
Yeah, pretty much. What you put in is what you get out.
Yes, sir.
That's why the scriptures say it said a number of things, but it said give diligence to make your calling and election sure. And it also said if you do these things, what? Do what? The instructions in his books that you should never fail.
None of these things shall fail.
Yep, none of these things shall fail, which is also coming up next. But yeah, you gotta be careful how you hear. And only those that hear in the spirit what the Lord is saying, they're gonna be rewarded. You know, more faith, which is really the strength of our salvation. In Shalom, to the brothers out there in London, Yahweh's messengers, reasonable service, Shalom, Yahweh Basim Yahweh Shabbat Rakatah. So yeah, be careful how you hear.
All right. Next precept is coming from the book of Hebrews, chapter 11 and verse 6. And it reads, but without faith is it impossible to please him. Scripture says without faith it is impossible to please him. You know, when it says impossible going into it's not a chance. There ain't a chance that you can please Yahweh by some Yahweh shot if you don't have the faith. You know, you can have all the bells and whistles, but if you ain't got no faith working, then it's all for naught. You know, it's like having a arsenal full of different type of tactical weapons, but you don't own not one bullet.
Hey, that's like bringing a knife to a gunfight.
Right.
Hey, also too, don't let this funky old truck go by making all that noise.
I'm gonna move it slow.
We need to get on. All right, like the brother said, just read, without faith, it's impossible to please him. So you gotta have faith.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? You gotta have the right faith. That's why previously we just read with Yahweh Shai's own words, take heed how you hear. Meaning be careful. Because to have faith in the right thing, you gotta hear the right thing.
Sir.
People will hear the same scriptures, they hear it 10 different ways, come up with 10 different faiths. So you gotta have faith in the right thing. So having the right faith, you will please him. But with the wrong faith, or having the wrong faith, it's the same as having no faith. It's gonna be impossible. Because people having faith that the Lord gonna bless America, that's the equivalent of no faith at all. It ain't gonna happen.
Right.
And if you believe the Lord gonna bless America, you're not gonna be able to properly please him. Because you're gonna do the things that's beneficial to America and not really beneficial to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. Like the Lord don't need you, hey, but the ministry need me.
To be thinking to say God bless America, I mean that ain't in the scripture. You know what I'm saying? I ain't read that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I see a lot of, death for America, saving the best for last. You know what I'm saying? For America. But I don't see no blessings coming to America, man. I don't want no blessings coming here.
Hey, that's what the Lord said. Take heed how you hear. Because for some reason, people go through this book, that's all they hear. The Lord's going to bless everything. Everything's going to get better. We don't know how they heard that, so that's what they got faith in. Right. So it's impossible for them to please him.
They read this book and they just think it's all about prosperity.
Yeah.
It's one big prosperity book.
See, the true prospering is going to come in the kingdom.
Sir.
The blessings that the Lord got saved up for us is not compatible with being in America.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Jake think he get a new job or a car or a house. Whoa, he blessed. Ooh, he blessed. Man, know, that ain't nothing compared to what Yahweh Shem Yahushua got for those who truly love him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's how we get our daily bread from Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And, you know, anything he give us, you know, we are definitely thankful for it. But that ain't the end all be all. A job here in Babylon the Great, a job that's gonna end soon, some money that's gonna be worthless soon, you know, some grocery stores that's gonna be empty soon. This ain't it. This is not it, man. This ain't living right here. This is not living. We actually don't even know what it's like to live in these bodies.
Oh
man.
yeah, for real. For real, that's a good point.
All right. For he that cometh to Yahweh must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
So yeah, when you come to Yahweh by Shem Yahushua correctly, and when you hear it carefully and correctly, you're going to diligently seek him. And what are we seeking? Well, of course we seeking wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, but we seeking approval to make our call to intellectual sure. And that's accomplished by doing the instructions in his book. That's why that was one of the first scriptures we brought up. All scripture is profitable for many things, and one of those things being instruction.
Trying our best to be perfect as possible, trying to be righteous as possible in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Yep.
Let me see if that sun so shining so hard over here. Okay, Sagala, Shalom, elder. Shalom, brother. Thanks for joining us. All right, he put up.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I got bad eyes, man.
Man, it's bright out here.
It's bright out here. He put up Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9 and verse 18. For so the ways of them which lived on the earth were reformed, and men were taught the things that are pleasing unto thee, and were saved through wisdom. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so what are we reformed by? This word.
Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding.
Hey, and that's why the scriptures say, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's being reformed by this word. You know, that we don't be shaped, that we don't be according to the fashion of this world. But that also, we're not born of corruptible seed, but reborn incorruptible by this word.
Yeah, because we was once dead, but now we're alive again.
Yeah.
You know, we got this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding sent from Yahweh Shem Yahushua on high, and now we got a chance to endure to the end. You know, we still alive. You know what I'm saying? We got it's a lot of more people in this world that's still alive like us just as well, but guess what? Without this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, you really still dead.
Hey, that's why I think the book of Proverbs is say, he who wandereth out the way of understanding remain in the congregation of the dead. Y'all dead man walked it.
The walking dead.
Oh, that's why Ezekiel say, I believe the 38th chapter, that this place, that the place is desolate but now inhabited. Meaning it's already written that this place is going to be desolate. Right. But for now it's inhabited. And this place is a ticking time bomb.
Sir.
For many things.
Yep, and it's beautiful, like, to be able to see that, you know, like all the things that's coming to pass and all the things that's happening right now. You still got people who ain't in the news yet. They still don't know. They still don't be keeping up with the current events. They still don't know about the prophecy. You know what I'm saying? That's coming to pass. That's happening right now. Like, you know, you can talk to them till you blue in the face. And then when you get done talking, guess what? Well, my God loves everybody. Like all the things you said, you spoke about. Death and destruction, warning, famine, prophecy, the true names of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And they take two things from that. Prosperity and my God is all love. And you know, it's crazy, man. You know, some of the people that I come across, you know, I just be like, man, you just switch it up and go on, let them talk about what they want to talk about. Yeah, the new Jordans, yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, just get them, just get out the way, man. Just go on, get out the way.
I'm going to grab this real quick from the brother Malak Ma'ab, 2 Corinthians 5 and 7. For we walk by faith and not by sight. Yeah, and it's a bunch of people that walk by faith according to what they believe. You gotta walk by the right faith.
Right.
That's why one of the things we brought up is trust in the Lord with all thine heart, lean not on your own understanding. Hey, because you can think you walking according to faith by what these words say, but if you ain't perceiving correctly, that would pretty much be your own interpretation. Therefore, you leaning on your own understanding, so you walking according to the wrong faith.
You thought you was walking by faith. You was just on faith street, but you weren't walking by faith.
Hey, it's a bunch of people that say, yeah, I'm spiritual, I'm spiritually minded. Well, what spirit are you in?
Right.
Because it's a bunch of spirits out here.
Yeah.
You ain't in the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai though.
Right. You could be in the spirit of Babylon.
Yup, you could be in the spirit of that JC character.
Yeah.
I hate, man, that name. I feel like when I say it, I'm gonna get struck by lightning or a chariot or something.
It's just one of them names. It's almost like, you know, when you a kid using a cuss word.
Yeah.
That's like, you know, using some bad language, man. Like, they just don't say it, man.
Hey,
like,
that's the real cuss word.
That's a real curse word, for real, for real. You be thinking that some white man gonna come save you from everything that you've been through, you're going through. All right?
And what's faith? Since the brother put, we walk by faith and not by sight. The brother about to grab it.
All right? Right on time, brother.
Yeah, that was right on time.
The book of Hebrews, that's the spirit. Chapter 11 and verse 1, and it reads, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So faith is something, you know, you can't hold it in your hand.
Yep.
You just got to know it's there. You just got to know you dealing with it. You know what I'm saying? It's dealing with you, you know, because, you know, Lord willing that we are found, you know, worthy to be saved in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai's eyes, we got faith. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't something that I could pull out of my back pocket. You know what I'm saying? It ain't something that I could log on to the internet and show you. You know what I'm saying? It's something that you just gotta have. You know what I'm saying? It's like they say in the world, it's in me, it ain't on me.
And you got some people in the world say, well, I don't just see that happen. Well, that's not faith.
Right.
Because that's part of the definition, the evidence of things not seen.
Right.
And with faith, there comes hope. So you gotta have the correct faith to hope in the right thing.
Yep.
If you got faith that Babylon is gonna be destroyed, well, you're gonna have to have a hope in that. Hoping to be delivered from that. Therefore, we hope in the chariots. That's the only other thing that makes sense.
That's why I chose that's why I chose, you know, that name for my YouTube handle. Hope, grace, and mercy.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Gotta have a hope, faith. Lord willing, we get that mercy.
Yep, and those will be the things not seen, really these instructions. And the Lord said, be faithful unto death. When we threw in prison, that hour of temptation, you know, we ain't seen none of that happen yet. But we believe it's gonna happen.
We know it's gonna happen. Next precept is coming from the book of Psalms, chapter 91, and verse 1, starting at 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
Yeah. So so when you do it in the secret place of the Most High, you in that spiritual gathering.
Yes,
meaning you heard these words correctly, and you got faith in it, and you got hope in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. So it says, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under his shadow or under his protection. But do we got verse 2 in there as well?
Yeah.
All right.
I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress. My power, Yahweh, in him will I trust.
Yeah, so that fortress, that refuge, that's the spiritual temple. That spiritual gathering. Well, that's going to be manifested into the physical world with the chariots. That's going to be a flying fortress. But going back up before we get to the next verse, it says, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High. Well, what's the secret place of the Most High? You know, what's more secret than the book?
Yeah.
They got a saying, you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in the book. So what's more secret than the book? That's where we dwell at. being occupied in the meditation thereof on the prophecies. So we dwell in this book, and that would be the instructions. That's what we got faith in. But yeah, what's more secret than the book? And that leads to our next scripture, our next precept.
Before we go into the next precept, a lot of our people think that they're going to find it in these Christianity churches, or they're going to find it trusting in they pastor alone, but that ain't how it works, The secret place is in these scriptures, this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, having that faith. We know the chariot is going to pull up one day. You know what I'm saying? We know Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to return. We ain't seen it yet, but we know it's going to happen.
Oh, also, too, I know the brother Sagallah brought it up on the group study a couple times. I can't think of it in the Apocrypha. I think Second Ezra's, but when it says, like, take these words and hide them in the book, that's that secret place of the Most High. So you can crack open this book and read it, but it's a saying in the world hidden in plain sight.
Yep.
So the answers really to everything is right here in plain sight, but it's still hidden.
Right.
That's why you gotta be spiritually minded. I know that.
Because I know people who have said, I read the Bible 3 or 4 times, and you still don't know we the Israelites.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I read the Bible 3 or 4 times, and you still think Jesus is his name.
You still don't know America's gonna be destroyed.
You still ain't read the part about Babylon is gonna be destroyed. You still thinking that the Lord loves everybody. Like, you might need to keep reading it. You might need to keep on reading it. Like, I know people who have say they read the Bible many, many times. Man, I ain't got no understanding.
Man.
Reading it like they said, a Harry Potter novel.
Man, I came across an Edomite a couple weeks ago. Man, this Edomite told me he read the Bible 31 times. He said he on the 32nd time right now. I was like, all right, man.
Right.
All right, man.
He read the whole Bible, and as soon as he read the last book of Revelations, he closed it and said, yes, Jesus loves me. That's all they get out of that, man.
Yup, so
that's all they get out of it. They get what they want to get out of it.
So they in the book, but they not in the secret place of the Most High yet. This book got secrets. They in the book, but they not in the secrets of the book.
Right.
So the Lord says, give it to you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven.
Levels too.
So it's like the book is like a door. When you open the book, it's like opening a door. But even when that door is open, it's like an invisible door that'll lead you to the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. Right. The things that's going to come to pass. Because tomorrow is a secret. Well, but not to us, though. Because we don't open that secret door already.
Right. You're blessed to have this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
Yeah, it's pretty much like if somebody open the door, they don't see nothing but 4 walls in there. Well, we open that door, if we didn't see 4 walls, we saw another door right there.
Right.
That's the equivalent of coming to the secrets of this book.
A door within a door.
Oh, yeah, right there.
All right. Next precept is coming from the book of Isaiah, chapter 34 and verse 16, and it reads, seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read.
Right there, real quick. Mm-hmm. That's why we just read, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High. What's more secret than the book? And that's why it says, seek ye out the book of the Lord.
It ain't no place, it ain't no more secret than the book, man.
No. And there's no other books neither. It says the book of the Lord.
And read.
Yep.
No one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them.
Yeah, so not none of these things gonna fail. Meaning what? The prophecy. What else not gonna fail? The instructions that the Lord gave us. That's why at the beginning, one of the scriptures was, all scripture is profitable. Doctrine, reproof, correction, and instructions. So then that's why the scriptures say, give all diligence to make your call to intellection short. So if you do these things, you won't fail. If we do one thing, the things that's pleasing to the Lord.
All script, no lip.
Yup, putting on the righteous acts. instructions on how to be the elect. You know, only the elect will be able to do these things without fail. Ultimately, trusting in the Lord and being spiritually minded.
We supposed to be drawing now. We supposed to be drawing closer and closer to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai.
Yep.
You know, and that's how it started. You know, fearing Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? And reading that word. You know what I'm saying? Getting that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
Yep. And that's what we gather by. So I think the last part of that verse, it says something like that, like the Spirit gathering us or something.
I get it. And His Spirit, I'm gonna get it right here. For my mouth it had commanded, and His Spirit it had gathered them.
Yeah, and what do we gather by? This wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That's why the scriptures speak about being around like-minded brothers. You know, it also speak about when it says it's been given to you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. So it's people that scatter that got the same secrets. So we might not be gathered physically, but we gather by what we know and believe in.
Yes, sir.
And that I think secondaries is to say that the things revealed to us wasn't revealed to many, but a few like us. That's that remnant, really the 1/3. But ultimately, what we seeking out the book of the Lord is seeking His approval, how to do things that's pleasing to Him, which comes with a set of instructions on how to please Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. That's what contributes to us having the correct faith, hoping in the correct things. And that's why I say, take heed of what you hear, so that we can trust in Him and not on our own understanding, and lean not on any other man's understanding, but to be spiritually minded and not carnally minded, so that we can correctly trust the Lord. Because trusting in the Lord is going to be rewarded. But if you don't trust and believe on Him, there's a penalty for that.
Right, and like the brother said, you know, it's instruction that goes into trusting the Lord. I'm gonna grab this real quick. Book of John, chapter 14 and verse 15. It reads, "If ye love me, keep my commandments."
Yep.
So we can't write Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai letter. We can't call him on the phone. We can't email him. We can't text him.
You can't put in a fat offering.
Right, exactly. So the way that we show Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai that we love him and we obey him is by us keeping his commandments.
And what's another word for commandments? Instructions.
Yep.
The Lord said plain and clear, do this, don't do that. Those commandments or instructions on how to do what's pleasing to Him. And that ain't just the commandments, the 10 commandments. Trusting on the Lord is a commandment. Leaning not on your own understanding is a commandment.
All right, I'm gonna grab this too. 1 John chapter 5 and verse 3. "For this is the love of Yahweh thy power, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous."
Yep, so we do these things with gladness and joy of heart.
Yep.
Say it's not grievous, so it's not a burden to us.
It's not hard to
It's
us.
not hard. And because you're doing that, you'll receive his love, which only the elect will receive that.
We start in remembrance. Though ye once knew this, how that the Lord, having saving the people out of the land of Egypt, after it destroyed them that believe not.
So see that? That last part, that came with and they was punished for that. Simply for not believing. So the church and people will say that loosely, I trust in the Lord. They teach, you gotta trust the Lord. Well, you gotta teach the other side of not trusting Him. That you'll be penalized for not trusting Him.
Yep. And not believe. You know, and guess what? That's taking place right now. We about to be delivered out of spiritual Egypt as well. And for all those who didn't believe, scoff, mock, just didn't care, guess what? It's a recompense coming on your head for that, man.
Yeah.
You know?
You show your faith by your works. So that's just gonna be rewarded by. If you don't, what you do day to day, and really how you react in these times to come.
Person not knowing nothing about Yahweh Shem Yahushua. No matter of fact, can you imagine an Israelite not knowing nothing about Yahweh Shem Yahushua, was blinded all their life, and then the destruction come upon them, Jacob's trouble, our temptation, the dollar collapsing. You know what I'm saying? Them forcing the chip on you. Like, do you know how people is gonna just like bug out? Like, people are gonna really like. Some people are gonna lose their marbles, man.
Yep.
You know, life is gonna hit them like a ton of bricks, man. And it's just gonna keep on hitting them and keep on hitting them until they judgment knock on the door.
Yep.
Right. Next precept is coming from the book of Genesis.
And right here, we're gonna show this correctly. When you follow directions, you trust in judge. Yes, and it's not that the Lord gonna put you in time out or on the punishment. The Lord has only one punishment. If it ain't the curses, it's gonna be by death. And which the curses or the Lord plaguing you is to build up to your death.
Sir. All right, coming from the book of Genesis, chapter 19, starting at verse 15. And when the morning arose, then the angels hasted Lot, saying, Arise, take thy wife and thy 2 daughters, which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquity of the city. Keep going.
Yep, so that's the Lord giving, or the angels of the Lord giving Lot some instructions.
All right. And while he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hand, and upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his 2 daughters, the Lord being merciful unto him, and they brought out the city.
Yeah, so the angels, they told Lot to, and to pretty much leave the city. And the angels laid Lot and his daughters outside of the city. Now we're gonna get the next verse for the rest of these instructions or commandments.
And it came to pass, when they had brought them forth abroad, for thy life, look not behind thee, neither stay, neither mountain, lest thou be consumed.
So that was the conclusion of the instructions. The angels of the Lord told Lot, escape, meaning flee. Also, he says, don't look behind thee. In the hope, that's why next he said, escape to the mountain. So escape, don't look behind you, and flee to the mountain. It says, lest thou be consumed. Meaning, if you deviate from these instructions, any one of them, you're going to be consumed or destroyed. All right, now we're going to see how it played out.
All right. The book of Genesis, chapter 19, starting at verse 22. Haste thee, escape thither, for I cannot do anything till thou be, till thou become thither. Therefore, the name of the city was called Zor.
So the angels of the Lord told him, escape, because we can't do anything until you escape.
Yeah. The sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered into Zor. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven.
Hey, so the Lord began the destruction. Now let's see how well Lot, his wife, and his daughters followed the instructions or the commandments of the Lord. Because following these instructions, that showed that you trusted. Because like the brother said earlier, it's like putting together a table. If you follow the instructions, it's because you got trust and you believe in the instructions. But for example, you might say, no, that don't sound right. I'm going to do this my way.
Right.
That's leaning on your own understanding. That's being carnally minded, which leads to death.
And he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the city and that which grew upon the ground. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt.
See that? His wife looked back. Clearly going back up to verse 17, when the Lord said, escape for thy life, look not behind thee. Hey, but she looked back, and the Lord zapped her, turned to the dust.
The instruction says, don't look back.
Yep, the instruction manual said, if you want to live past today, one of those instructions was to not look back. Hey, that's just how the Lord do business. You can't see the Lord when he getting down. And that's like during the Passover.
Yep.
The Lord said, throw the blood of the lamb on your door, in your doorpost.
Yep.
And of course, along with the Passover supper, one of the things that the Lord said was stay in your house till the morning.
Yep.
You can't see the Lord getting down, at least not yet.
Those instructions.
Yep, so if they would have exited their homes during the Passover, and the Lord would have got down on them too, and they would have been dead and found dead in the morning.
Right. All because they didn't follow the simple instructions.
So that's trusting the Lord. But guess what? It says his wife was turned to a pillar of salt, meaning Lot and his 2 daughters, hey, they escaped with their life.
Right.
They was rewarded. And they was rewarded another day and many more days to live.
Yep.
So trusting in the Lord, you will stay alive. Not trusting in the Lord, not following the instructions, you'll be put to death. Simple as that.
Right. And Lot didn't. He knew she wasn't with him no more. He didn't feel her.
Oh,
She was gone.
Yep.
So he knew still not to look back.
I heard that from Mysteries of the Kingdom too. Like he felt his wife's grip slip away.
Yep.
Felt her turning into sand. Still couldn't get one more look at her.
Right.
Had to keep going.
Right.
Hey, and that's the equivalent of even now. You know, when we come into this truth, we're not looking back at the congregation of the dead.
I was just thinking that.
Yo, we're not looking back.
No. We're not trying to slip back and go off into the world. You know, we're not trying to get away from, because we still go through things. Hell, we probably go through more things than people who ain't in the truth, Israelites.
I think so.
You know, but we can't slip back into the world and fire up a joint. You know what I'm saying? We can't slip back up into the world and go do things that's pleasing to the flesh, you know what I'm saying, to pass us by. You know, we got to keep on going. You know what I'm saying? We got to be like Lot and his 2 daughters. You know what I'm saying? No matter when the grip get lost,
Yeah.
we can't even look back to see why you let go of my hand. You know, you let go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you was with me following the right instructions, then I'll be feeling your hand just like you'll feel my hand.
Yeah.
She let go. He didn't feel it no more. Hey, the instruction says don't look back, man. I got to get to where I'm going, man.
The Lord ain't playing. Hey, he was probably crying and stuff too.
Y'all
Couldn't look back.
Y'all about Shimmy Awashai ain't playing with us the way we playing with him.
Yup. Hey,
You know?
and part of us, you know, not looking back is when our tongue cleaves to the roof of our mouth. You know, because we can't go back when Jacob's trouble done already happened and try to show you the basics.
Right.
You know?
Oh, yeah. Jacob's trouble going on. All hell breaking loose. Our temptation. You know, they got FEMA troops, FEMA camps, people looking for you. You think we're going to have time to be like, well, Deuteronomy 28 and 68 proves we the slave. Come on, man. No. Hell no. It's too late.
And,
you know?
Yup. And that's going to be finished when we get beamed up on the chariots. And we're going to start going up. So we're going to depart from you in the flesh.
Right.
Hey, we not gonna, and once I start going up, I'm not going to be trying to pull you up with me. And you're going to weigh me down.
Right. I'm just trying to continue I'm just trying to continue upward.
Yup.
You know? And I always picture like, you know how like when the internet shut down and the blackout come, I always, in my head as a joke, I always picture the internet coming back on, the lights coming back on. How about Shimmy Awashai has wiped out the true prophets off the internet, and the only people you can get the truth from is people like One Body and your Awashai. You know what I'm saying? telling you that Lot looked back too. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. You know, we were going into that earlier and stuff like that, but man, that's why you better get this truth while it's hot. You know what I'm saying? Get out here on these highways and hedges while you got an opportunity. Follow the instructions and stick to the script.
Yup. Hey, another word for script is instructions. Sir, laid out plain and clear. And that's the thing with the Lord. There's no room for questions. You know what I'm saying? It's plain and clear.
All right. The next one.
Yeah.
Next story is coming from the book of 1 Kings, chapter 13, starting at verse 24.
Yeah. I probably gonna go start with once.
Okay.
Probably like have that.
Okay. Again, book of 1 Kings, chapter 13 and verse 24. Salaki. Chapter 13 and verse 14. And it reads, and went after the man of Yahweh, thy power, and found him sitting under an oak. And he said unto him, art thou the man that Yahweh thy power that camest from Judah?
I guess, my bad. Bro, so real quick, it was the man of the Lord, a prophet sitting under a tree. And the Lord sent another prophet to that prophet and asking him, is he the man that came from Judah?
Okay. And he said, I am. Then he said unto him, come home with me and eat bread. And he said, I am not returned. And he said, I may not return with thee, nor go in with thee, neither will I eat bread nor drink water with thee in this place. For it was said to me by the word of the Lord, thou shalt eat no bread nor drink water there, nor turn again to go by the way that thou camest.
All right, so the back part of the story that we didn't get was previously the Lord told this man, you know, don't when you return, don't go the same way you went. Don't stop nowhere to eat, drink, none of that. You know, the Lord gave him commandments or instructions.
Yep.
You know, the Lord said himself, don't do anything, don't do any of these things that I just told you, don't stop nowhere. And that goes back to what? Mark 4:24. When Yahweh said, take heed to what you hear. Meaning, be careful what you hear and how you hear it so that you perceive it correctly. So the man obviously, well, we're going to continue.
All right, reading on. He said unto him, I am a prophet also, as thou art. And an angel spake unto me by the word of the Lord, saying, bring him back with thee into thine house, that he may eat bread and drink water. But he lied unto him.
So this man tried to persuade the prophet to come back with him when the Lord clearly told him, yo, don't stop or go nowhere. But that's why the verse ended by saying that he lied to him. But the man believed it because he said an angel came to tell you to come back with him. But that's why Yahweh said, take heed or be careful what you hear and how you hear it. So he took heed to what the man told him, but he didn't take heed to what Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah told him.
Right. King is speaking.
Yep, the king of kings.
Yep. So he went back with him and did eat bread in his house and drank water. And it came to pass, as they sat at the table, that the word of the Lord came unto the prophet that brought him back.
So the prophet that lied to him came back with another word, with the true words of the Lord.
All right. And he cried unto the man and said, that came from Judah, saying, thus said the Lord, for as much as thou hast disobeyed the mouth of the Lord, and hast not kept the commandments which the Lord thy power Yahweh commanded thee, but camest back and hast eaten bread and drunk water in the place of which the Lord did say to thee, eat no bread and drink no water. Thy carcass shall not come unto the sepulchre.
I think
Sepulchre of thy fathers.
Yep, so the Lord says, since you disobeyed me, since you did. Alright, so the Lord says, since you disobeyed me, you didn't follow my commandments or my instructions, hey, pretty much that you're not going to make it back home alive.
Right.
Simple as that. The Lord told him, don't stop nowhere, not for food or water. Simple as that. The man didn't do it.
And it came to pass after he had eaten bread and after he had drunk. I read that. Oh no. And it came to pass after he had eaten bread and after he had drunk that he saddled for him the ass to went for the prophet whom he had brought back. And when he was gone, a lion met him by the way and slew him, and his carcass was cast in the way, and the ass stood by it. The lion also stood by the carcass.
So yeah, after the man ate and drank with the other man, as the Lord told him not to, he strapped up the donkey and he took off. And then as he left, a lion came by and killed them. And then what was the rest of that verse? And he was gone, a lion met by him and slew him. And his carcass, his dead body, was right there. Right there by the donkey. And the lion stood by the carcass. So you had the dead body, you had the donkey, and you had the lion. The lion killed the man, but it didn't kill the donkey.
Right.
Hey, so the Lord can be kind of petty too.
Yep.
But really, the Lord being petty, that's showing you his power.
Yep.
You know, I think it's in the book of Matthew. When they was in the ship, Yahweh was walking on water.
Oh yeah.
He said, "Oh, ye of little faith." And then he said, and then the disciples marveled and said, "What manner of man is this, that even the rain and the wind obey him?" So the Lord is showing you that he has all power and authority. And he did that in this event here by having the lion kill the man but not eat the donkey.
Right.
You know, the donkey and the lion was best friends chilling in that day. Hey, but in the other day, hey, a lion to tear a donkey up.
Donkey, yep.
Yeah. But that day, hey, that showed you who was really in control.
Yep. Killed the disobedient prophet and let the donkey make it that day.
Yep.
You know?
All for not following the instructions.
Right.
So it's a penalty for not trusting in Yahweh. Because really what he did, he put his faith in man. He leaned on another man's understanding. That man said, an angel told me to tell you this. Well, what did the Lord say?
Right. According to Yahweh, you got to do it the way he say do it. Not kind of, not the way you think he meant for you to do it. That prophet should have knew. Well, hey, if the Lord told you to tell me that, he could have just told me.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The Lord told me what to do. I don't need no other man to tell me. The Lord already told me, gave me the instructions.
Yeah.
He ain't forget nothing, you know?
Yep.
But hey, that brother chose to listen to man.
Yep. Hey, the Lord ain't gonna change his mind halfway through.
Right. You know, and that's why he opened up that box and had to put that table together, because there wasn't no instruction manual in there. He ain't following.
Yep.
You know, and that's why the table is missing a leg.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Not following the instructions properly.
Yep.
Right? Next story is coming from the book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 16, starting at verse 12. And Asa in the city, Salaka. 2 Chronicles chapter 16, starting at verse 12. That's correct?
My bad. Yeah, Second Chronicles 16 and 12?
Yeah. Okay. And Asa, in the 39th year of his reign, was diseased in his feet, until his disease was exceedingly great. Yet in his disease, he sought not the Lord, but to the physicians.
All right, so here he had King Asa had a disease, and what did he do? He sought a physician.
The Lord.
He didn't seek the Lord. So what did he do? He was carnally minded. He resorted to what he believed in the flesh. You know, something that he could see. You know, he didn't truly have faith, which we know faith is the things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. So he was being carnally minded, not being spiritually minded. Because if he'd have trusted in the Lord, he'd have went to the Lord. Well, in his instance, with his disease, he leaned on his own understanding. And his own understanding led him to a physician. Well, he went to that physician, but let's see what happened.
All right. And Asa slept with his fathers and died in the 114th year of his reign.
Hey, yup. So yeah, this going back, yet in his disease, he sought not the Lord, but to the physicians. Larry Beck's verse. It says that he slept with his fathers. In other words, he died. You know, so in this instance, he was penalized or punished by death for not trusting in the Lord.
Right.
All he had to do was pray.
Right.
Go to a prophet.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, he did. He went to a physician. He died. I got a similar thing too. Before I came into the truth, I struggled with Crohn's disease for like 6-7 years. I was going to physicians just to see what was wrong with me. They was telling me all this nonsense. They tried to put me on this medication that I would have had to be on for life. You know, that it was an infusion medication, meaning I had to sit with a needle in my arm while it pumped throughout my body.
Like dialysis.
Yeah, like that. And then before I would have took that medication, I had waivers and stuff I had to sign.
In case something happened.
Because I read through it, it said this medicine has a very high chance of creating lymphoma, which is a rare form of blood cancer in young men. You know, I prayed about it. I'm like, Lord, this don't sound right. I don't know what to do. I was like, can you give me a sign or something? I didn't see nothing that stood out to me. I'm like, that's probably all the sign I need. So I went to the doctor, I asked my questions. I didn't follow through with none of it. I struggled to pray for about 6-7 years. And about my first year into the truth, hey, I noticed one day, like, man, I ain't been sick in about 3-4 months. And I just thought to myself, I'm like, man, I think I'm healed. And that was it.
Oh, Lord, y'all about to see me outside.
And we actually, the next story we gonna get is really an account of that. Which it was a man that was sick. You know, he was about to die. And the man cried out to the Lord. And we gonna see how that played out.
That's beautiful, man. All right, let me get back. Okay. Coming from the book of Isaiah, chapter 38, starting at verse 1. Good.
Oh, yep.
In those days was Hezekiah sick unto death. And Isaiah, the prophet, the son of Amoz, came unto him and said unto him, Thus said the Lord, set thine house in order, for thou shalt die and not live.
Yep, so the man was sick to death. Was it Isaiah that came to him? He said? So Isaiah told him, hey, get your house in order because you're about to die.
Then Hezekiah turned his face towards the wall and prayed unto the Lord and said, Remember now, O Lord, I beseech thee, how I have walked before thee in thy sight. And Hezekiah wept sore.
From the Lord himself, through a prophet, Hezekiah sincere heart. Meaning what? He followed the commandment. And even at his final moment, he trusted in the Lord and still cried out to him.
Then came, thus said the Lord, the power Yahweh of David, thy father. I have heard thy prayer. I have seen thy tears. Behold, I will add unto thy days 15 years.
So yeah, this man was sick to death, about to die. But what? Because he kept the word of the Lord, which is really much the book in its entirety, which is the book of commandment, instructions. He cried out to the Lord. He was being spiritually minded. Hey, Yahweh heard his prayer and extended his life by 15 years. Hey, 15 years is a long.
Right. And just like the other account in Second Chronicles, you know, instead of going to see the physician, all that brother had to do was, you know what I'm saying, hearkening to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Who knows? He would have had probably 15 years or more added to him.
Yep.
But since he didn't wait, he went and slept with his fathers. He died.
Yeah, that was the end of his story.
He gave up the ghost.
Yeah. That physician was probably the last man he saw.
Right. And this city out of the hand of the king of Assyria. And I will defend this city.
So not only Yahweh Shem Yahweh defended him from his enemies the rest of the days of his life. So not only did he have a healthy life, or he had a peaceful life for his last 15 years. Hey, all because he trusted in the Lord.
And this shall be a sign unto thee, thing that he had spoken.
Yeah. So those are two accounts. When one was sick, he didn't trust in the Lord, he went to a physician. So he leaned on man's understanding. Well, we know to be carnally minded is death, and that's what happened to him. But to be spiritually minded, Hezekiah went to a prophet and cried out to the Lord. Well, because he was. That's why I say to be spiritually minded is peace and life. Yep. And them are the two things that the Lord gave him. Peace, to be protected from his enemies, and life, to live protected.
All right, next account is coming from verse 4, and it reads, and the mixed multitude that was among them fell a lusting. And the children of Israel also wept again and said, who shall give us flesh to eat? We remember the fish which we did eat in Egypt freely, the cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlic.
Hey, yep, so the Israelites that was complaining, hey, they fell into the temptation of the flesh. You know, the Lord was feeding them manna, you know, bread from heaven. But they crying about some fish.
You know, fed from heaven.
You know, they obviously healthy, getting fed, they not starving. The Lord taking care of them, and they crying about some fish. Like, man, we got to eat fish freely. And they got to eat as much as they want.
Right.
Hey, so they was complaining.
Master used to give us all the fish we want.
Yep. And that's gonna be people when we on the run in the wilderness.
Yep.
They're gonna talk about how they could used to go to Walmart and buy all the steaks and chicken that they could buy. So in here,
they can just go to their mama house and get food out her freezer.
Oh yeah,
I know a lot of people like that.
Yep. Hey, so the Lord was doing miracles for them. Hey, so that wasn't good enough. You know, they complaining like the bread is not sufficing them or something. Right. Like they still gonna die of starvation, or like they malnourished or something.
Like they ain't being stabilized.
Yeah. So, and in a sense, you can say they still not trusting in the Lord. Hey, that's why that word lust came up. You know, because lust, that's the thing that happens in the flesh. Yep. So even in that instance, when they was crying about fish and garlic and melons, there was what? they was being carnally minded. Or carnally minded leads to death. They weren't being spiritually minded. Not realizing, hey, the Lord broke us free of our bondage. Hey, the Lord protecting us from our enemies on all sides, from these wild beasts. We in the desert with no food, but the Lord giving us food.
Right.
Not realizing
Can't get no better than this.
they had life and peace wherever they went.
Right. Right.
But let's see how that played out for them.
And the manna was as
Coriander.
and the manna was as coriander seed, and the color thereof as the color of bellium.
Yeah, I think so.
Salaki for that.
So yeah, pretty much when the people started complaining about fish and meat, hey, that was really a complaint or a prayer. Because when you read Exodus, it tells you how the Lord heard our complaints. You know, complaining of the hard bondage that we was made to serve. Well, in this instance here, they complaining to the Lord about meat. Hey, that's really a prayer that was going up to the heavens. Hey, and we're going to see how the Lord answered that prayer.
Book of Numbers, chapter 11, starting at 31. And there went forth a wind from the Lord, and brought quails from the sea, and let them fall by the count. And it were a day's journey on this side, and as it were a day's journey on the other side, round about the count.
So they had more quail, more meat, hey, than they could eat.
Right.
It was so much meat, it was really gonna go bad before they could finish it.
And as it were 2 cubits high upon the face of the earth. That was a lot of quail, man.
Oh yeah.
Wow, an abundance of quail.
Yeah.
All right. And while the flesh, oh my God. And the people stood up all that day and all that night and all the next day, and they gathered the quail. He that gathered least gathered 10 hummers, and they spread them all abroad for themselves round.
So when the Lord brought that quail, that the Lord gave to the people because they was complaining, you know, which is the form of a prayer, and the Lord brought them all the quail, all the meat, the flesh, and that they could wish for. They gathered it and spread it out. Now let's see how it played out.
And while the flesh was yet between their teeth, ere it which was chewed.
Right there.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll keep read that again up to that chew part.
And while the flesh was yet between their teeth, ere it was chewed.
Okay, so the flesh was between their teeth. When we go to the Blue Letter Bible, we go to that word ere, when the brother said it was between their teeth, ere it was chewed, ere means before or not yet. So it was between their teeth, but before they could even begin to chew it. Let's see what happened.
The wrath of the Lord was kindled against the people, and the Lord smote the people with a very great plague of the place because there they burned the people that lust.
So yeah, after they got the quail, and the quail was between their teeth, and they was about to eat it. You know what I'm saying? It says ere it was chewed, meaning before it was even chewed. The wrath of the Lord was kindled up against them. And the Lord smote the people, hey, with a great plague. So even before they got to chew it, they was killed. So they got the plague, you know, they probably got sick or something before they started chewing it. When they started to drop. And so the Lord gave them the meat, the flesh that they asked for, and it was good up to that moment. That was great, you know, while it was in between their teeth. But before they started chewing, they started getting sick, dying, dropping. Hey, so they died on the full stomach. The Lord fed them, then he killed them.
Right. Just like in the scriptures it says, just before Esau,
Yeah, that's cold.
the destruction gonna come.
That's cold, yeah.
All right. The next account is coming from the book of Luke, chapter 12, and starting at verse 22. And he said unto his disciples, therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, and ye shall eat. For the body, what ye shall put on. The life more than raiment.
Real quick. So, Yahweh said, hey, don't take no thought what you gonna eat. Hey, really in Egypt, when they was complaining to the Lord about eating fish and melons and cucumbers, they taking the thought to what they gonna eat. The Lord already had that covered with the manna from heaven.
Right.
So they was really doing too much thinking. Hey, and that's why the famine gotta come. Because you fasted. You know, when you fast, your brain slow down.
Oh, yeah.
You ain't got all that. Only if I could just eat some bread.
Only if I could just eat some manna.
Yep, the most basic thing, which the Lord was already giving them.
Right.
But because the Lord was taking care of them, they didn't really have to struggle yet. You know, they really just had too much energy to think.
Right.
But that's what the Lord said, life is more than meat. Hey, so the very thing they prayed for and complained, killed them right after.
Right.
So I bet, damn Lord, I wish I would have asked for that quail.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I wish I would have just been content with that manna.
Yep. Hey, because life is more than meat.
Right. All right. Reading on. Consider the raven. We teaching the gospel.
Hey, we the real Israelites.
We the real Israelites.
Hey, we the real Israelites, you too. Yeah, and the Lord gonna destroy America just like he destroyed Egypt, and he gonna break us free.
Is your father a so-called African American? Africa is named after Scipio Africanus, and America is named after America Vespucius. Them two white men. So how can you be two white men? Where you from? Huh? You from San Antonio? Can you be from San Antonio in New Orleans, Louisiana? So how can you be African American? We the Israelites, brother. It's time to come back to your true power. Stop calling on the name God and Jesus.
Yep.
The Lord is only coming back for the 12 tribes of Israel. You can take it serious or you can mock and scoff. It's up to you. He drove off.
Yeah, I seen the song, boy.
All right.
Hey, and
ride with a car full of his oppressors.
hey, yeah, that's why hey, don't lean on your own understanding. That's why he laughing.
Yep.
Hey, that's why when Miriam complained about Moses, is the Lord only dealing with him? Hey, the Lord cursed her with leprosy.
Right.
Hey, because she was being carnally minded. Hey, that's why the brother was laughing, being carnally minded.
Right.
Then his oppressors was like taking pictures.
Right, and you see, out of all those other nations that was in the car, because for those who couldn't see it on the camera, it was a car of probably 5 or 6 people, and we knew it appears to be one Jake in the middle. He's sitting in between the other nations of people he riding with. And guess what? But you notice, go ahead.
Hey, she breaking her neck. Hey, the light green, bro, honking the horn at her.
Hey, yeah. That's what I figured happened. But if you notice, out of all the people in that car, only Judah spoke up.
Oh, yeah.
Only Judah spoke up. But at the same time, we don't know, what his lot is. He can look into it, or he can just laugh, despise it, and mosey on down the road. But guess what? He don't know if death and destruction is down the street.
Hey, his oppressors might, they could be some lynchers.
Right, exactly.
In the car full of them.
Exactly.
Bro, look little, they all look hefty.
Right. And he's sitting in between them.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's crazy, man. Paul, Lord, y'all about to see me outside, but it's true. but surely mostly to your judgment that's going out, man.
Yup.
All right, the brother oh no, that's the same precept. Okay. All right.
So just trusting in the Lord while we get back on track. Again, Jude 1:5. How the Lord, having saved the people out the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believed not. So they was complaining for meat, for quail. Ultimately, they didn't believe. You know, the Lord sending them bread, but when you complain, that's because you don't believe.
Right, we start back up at Luke 12, right?
Yep, that's what it's at.
All right. Did I read 22?
I think
No, they stopped us. They stopped us.
Hey, so we preaching, hey, we preaching that America's gonna be destroyed by nuclear missiles. Hey, you Mexican? Yeah, so you an Israelite. Hey, she lying.
Ooh, boy, I can't wait, man.
I said, you Mexican? She said, yeah, and you black?
And then she hit the gas. That was her car. You know
That
what
y'all
I'm saying?
heard.
That y'all heard. Man, I can't wait. I don't even care to see it. I just know it's gonna happen to him one day.
Hey,
man.
that's the sound of America. A bunch of girls hollering for joy in the background that, oh, you know, all
yeah,
that.
oh, yeah.
You know, that's, hey, that's gonna, they gonna go, they in the house of mirth, they gonna be in the house of mourning.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be the same sound, but the opposite when the missiles coming.
And then you see how she out here by herself. That time coming where, man, women ain't gonna be outside.
Yep.
Shit, by themselves, hell no. She gonna be somewhere hoping that she can be with a man of the Lord. She ain't gonna tell me got 30 women.
Yep.
She gonna be like, I'll be 31. Just take
yeah.
away my reproach.
Yep.
But that's crazy, man. That like this world, man, they got the, and, you know, she look to be an Israelite.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they drunk off that Babylon juice, man.
Yep.
Everything's so funny to them.
Yeah, everything a joke.
Everything a joke, man.
Hey, that's why the scriptures say children is our oppressors.
Right.
And what manner the ruler of a city is, such as all they that dwell therein. So our oppressors are children, so everybody got the mentality of a child. Everything is entertainment to them.
Right. And then not only that, but that video that she recorded, it's gonna be the same video.
Hey, what about that, man?
Solomon, brother, Solomon. That's gonna be the same video that she gonna text to her homegirl, her homeboy, laughing, making jokes and stuff. And guess what's gonna happen? That's gonna be the same thing that's gonna make her meet her judgment as well, though.
Hey, yup, and them other people that was recording, hey, that's what the Lord said, Deuteronomy 13, Deuteronomy 30. I say heaven and earth against you this day to record. You know, something like that. Well, hey, they're recording us, but the angels recording them.
You ready? I got you.
Hey, she a speed demon too.
Right, you see how she hit that gas, man?
Hey, the Lord gonna make her brakes go out.
Right. All right, that's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and verse 19.
Yep.
I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live.
So in that moment when she asked us what she was doing, this was the life and death moment.
Right.
You either go to the left or go to the right.
Yeah.
Well, going to the right is hearing his word.
Yeah.
But that also comes with believing in the right thing and having faith. But she chose death. She despised it. And in the Blue Letter Bible, that word despise, don't necessarily mean, damn, I still hear that thing. All right, so the word despise don't mean that you necessarily just hate the Bible, or that you just hate the word. Despising is simple, that you regard it as not important. So you could believe in the word, which you regard it as not important, that you despise it. You're gonna be punished with those who really do hate the word. You know, they believe the word, but they push it off from day to day.
Y'all about to see me outside giving you a hint. I'm telling you to choose life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Choose the blessing, because if you don't, you're going to be choosing death and the curses, man.
Yup.
Man, that was crazy how that sister did that, man. It just,
Right,
bro,
yeah.
you know what?
Oh man, there's a girl right here.
Oh, I got that on camera.
Oh, that's a
I
bet
got
they
that
saw.
on camera. Yeah, they
There
saw
was a
that.
Mexican girl right here. She put on her phone, recording. She was like, "Hey, what y'all doing? Like America gonna be destroyed." She was like, "Oh yeah, that drunk white girl voice." She sounded like she was already turned up.
Right.
I was like, "You Mexican?" She was like, "Yeah, and you black?" I'm like, "You an Israelite, so you got to come back to the Lord." Then
She hit the gas.
turned into a speed demon.
Man.
She was just, it was funny though.
Laughing
hard.
As soon as she said that, she cut off.
Yeah, she was like, yeah, I'm Mexican and you black. And just sped off.
Right. I mean, hit the gas hard too, man.
Yeah, she was drunk or something already. I could hear it.
All right. So
I can't say what's up, y'all.
Yeah, it's a bet.
Back on my crib after.
Oh yeah, it's a bet.
All right, bro. Hey, appreciate y'all.
Yeah, I'm gonna
see
send
you,
you some
bro.
screenshots too.
All
Alright, bet.
all right, starting back up at the book of Luke, chapter 12, and verse 22. And he said unto his disciples, therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat, neither for the body, what ye shall put on. Oh yeah, I did read all that. I read that. All right, I stopped at 24.
Yeah.
Consider the ravens, consider the ravens, for they neither sow nor reap, which neither have storehouse nor barn, for Yahweh thy power feed them. How much more are ye better than the fowls?
So yeah, the birds, hey, they don't do no work in the earth. You know, they ain't gotta follow the law, statutes, and commandments. But we do that. We do what's pleasing to the Lord.
Right.
The Lord made us to serve Him. You know, what it say? Damn, I forget what it say. But the Lord He made us and chose us to serve Him.
Right.
So, you know, the animals of the earth who wasn't made to serve Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, they just living, being fruitful.
Right.
The Lord take care of them. But ain't we better than them? So how much more the Lord gonna take care of us?
Right.
You know, the animals, they eat the same thing all the time, whether it be grass, berries, or a few different things. But hey, they not complaining.
Right. They ain't gonna never spit that worm out and be like, I want some chicken today.
Hey, the cows ain't gonna never spit out that grass.
Right.
They like, I want some cantaloupe. You know what I'm saying?
They taking it as they get it.
Yeah.
Humble and meek, and that's the spirit that we supposed to be coming in. Humble and meek. You know what I'm saying? Happy about whatever Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai give us and show us. And through the power of spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, the best, the most important thing that he showed us that should keep us in a meek spirit is this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Being able to call on the true names of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, being eager to come out on these highways and hedges, once, twice, 3 times, some brothers every day, that's the spirit that we supposed to be in, man.
And yeah, and that's trusting in the Lord. You act like when it's a family, see when you got a full stomach, that's when the flesh kick in. You be like, Lord, I know you've been feeding me this food here, but I want something different. That's you being carnally minded. Not looking at it in the spirit that the Lord taking care of you. Right. Hey, but when you starving, ain't had nothing to eat in 2 days, you gonna be like, Lord, can you send me anything? Hey, and that's what the Lord gonna do for us. It's gonna be no food in the earth except you get the microchip. Well, hey, we just gonna pray for the Lord to give us some food, and whatever He brings to us, hey, that's what we gonna be happy with.
Right.
We're not gonna be like, Lord, you gave me this 2 days ago. Can it be something different? Well, if anything, we can be like, Lord, I pray that you can bless me with this again tomorrow.
Right.
Or, as soon as you can, your will.
Or tell him thank you as he give it to you.
As
he give it to you, as he provide, thank you and keep it moving.
Yep.
All right. Not sit back saying, ooh, I remember back in the world, man, we used to have them Philly cheesesteak nachos, man.
Yep.
Oh man, we gonna be happy to get whatever he give us, cause guess what? It's gonna be millions of people who ain't gonna be getting nothing. Who ain't gonna be getting nothing.
Yep.
And guess what? Even when they in they worst situation, guess what? They still ain't gonna get nothing.
Yep.
They gonna continue to not get nothing.
But they gonna ride away.
Right away.
Hey, God trust in the Lord. Well, you see, that's why you gotta have the correct faith. Because, like we got earlier, we walk by faith and not by sight. Well, that's why the Lord said, take heed to what you hear. Hey, because the Lord prophesied of a famine. Yep. What's another word for a prophecy? A promise. So Yahweh see me outside, he promised a famine. Yep. Hey, now we got faith that a famine is going to happen. So therefore we hope, hey, that the Lord feed us in the midst of the famine.
Yep. Matter of fact, I got a definition I think I had in here. Give me 1 second, bro.
Yeah. And also too, the Lord prophesied of the sword. The sword can come in various forms. Esau in his military, or the teeth of wild beasts. Hey, so we gonna hope that the beasts of the field be at peace with us, which was the thing that would be promised to the elect. The Lord promised a pestilence. We read how at one account, the man saw a physician instead of the Lord.
Yeah.
And on another account, the man cried to the Lord. Well, the man that cried to the Lord was delivered with his life, 15 more years. And the Lord promised a pestilence. And not this pandemic of 2020, but an actual real disease that's gonna wipe out millions of people. You know, it got a 50% death rate.
All right, and just to go out what the brother was talking about famine, and us talking about how, you know, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, he gonna feed the elect, and you know, the other nations in the 2/3, he not gonna feed them at all. I had got this off Google. It says, it's about our bodies and food. It says, our bodies need food and water to survive. Experts do not know exactly how long a person can live without food, but there are records of people surviving without food or drink between 8 to 21 days. So think about it. You ain't, say for instance, you're a 2/3, but a 2/3 that's gonna die by famine. You can go between 8 and 21 days of starvation. Do you know how how much agony that is? To go between 8 and 21 days without no food and no drink and still be alive.
Yep.
Your body eating off itself, that rib touching your stomach touching your back. You know what I'm saying? That's just a slow agonizing death.
Yup. Hey, because people that died of famine, hey, they still gonna be wandering from store to store looking for food.
Yep.
Not knowing all they gotta do is call on Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Hey, Lord, I don't know how you gonna do it. Hey, can you please deliver me from this famine?
Right. And the scripture says that, you know, to die by famine, that's just the worst. That's the worst way to go. Let me grab it. Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 9. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruit of the field. So the scripture's telling you, like, it's better for you to die by the sword, you know what I'm saying, than to die by famine. It's better for you to die by the sword. It's better for you to die by getting shot. You know what I'm saying? It's better than you die by any other type of way than die by famine, man. All to death. It's quicker than famine. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never heard about nobody getting mauled between 8 and 21 days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get back to it, my man. I just had to bring that out.
Yeah.
All right, we stopped at Isaiah. Next precept is coming from Isaiah chapter 65 and verse 13. Therefore, 65 and 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh thy power, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed.
Yeah, that's why the Lord said, trust in Him with all your heart. Don't lean on your own understanding. Don't be carnally minded. Because you trying to save yourself, you're really going to kill yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why the Lord said be spiritually minded. That's why the Lord reiterated that many times. Like, for example, in Luke, when the Lord said, don't take no thought what you're going to eat. And the Lord said, don't take no thought what you're going to eat. Just know my servant's going to eat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. We don't know how we going to eat in that day. Lord willing, we a part of that number. I ain't thinking about how I'm going to eat. He said we going to eat.
And that's that.
And that's that. You know what I'm saying? We going to eat.
Yep. Hey, the Lord don't like you asking a bunch of questions, and the Lord don't like repeating himself.
Right.
I really don't know no man that like repeating themselves.
Yeah, I be riding in the car with my daughter, and she'll ask me a question, I'll give her an answer. She'll say why about 5 or 6 times. She only 3. She'll say why about why. I answer it. Why? I be like, hey, all right, that's enough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's enough, mama.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, you definitely don't want to be asking y'all about Shimmy our side. Why? Or questioning him. Hey, who are you?
Hey, yup. Hey, because if you question the Lord gonna silence you. Like the people that prayed for that quail, the Lord gave it to them, then He silenced them.
All right, they got that quail too. They got that meat.
Yup.
Oh, okay, you missed the cucumbers and the fish? Okay, I got something for you. So last supper.
Hey, yup. Yeah.
Last meal.
Hey, they was dead right next to the quail that the Lord gave them.
Yep.
So it was actually somebody else that benefited from all that dead flesh laid out. Probably some bears and lions.
All right. So, all right. Next precept is coming from the book of Revelations, chapter 3 and verse 10, and it reads, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth.
And what's keeping His word? This book of instructions.
Yep.
And we kept the patience, meaning we endured in this word, following the instructions.
Having this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, not just being hearers of the words, but doers of the word.
Yup. So we gave an account of somebody not following the directions in the instance of destruction. Sodom and Gomorrah. We gave an example of the sword, which came in the form of a wild beast. We gave an example of the pestilence, the disease. We gave an example of the famine. But ultimately, it comes to that hour of temptation, which is here. That we keep this word, and with patience, the Lord will give us, deliver us from the hour of temptation. Because we can keep the instructions, this word, all the way up to that point. But that's going to be the hardest point to get past. That's going to break many people. But everything else is just practice. Going through the famine, escaping the sword, being delivered from the pestilence, that's going to be practice till you get to that hour of temptation. Ain't that practice even now?
Yep. You gotta put your effort into practice. You can't just show up to the game, you know what I'm saying, and score 99 points. You know what I'm saying? You gotta put that effort in every day in practice. And that's what we doing, man. Reading, studying, praying, fasting, coming out to the highways and hedges, gathering with the brethren, like-minded brothers.
Yep.
You know, this the practice right here, man.
Yep.
When the game day come, we gonna see, you know what I'm saying, who was really in the gym.
And
that's
game
the time
day
we
come,
going
it's too
in.
late.
What's that?
So when game day come, it's too late.
Oh, yeah.
To be trying to practice.
Yeah, you either gonna ride the pine or get out there on that field, man. And me, I want to go in. I want to go in at the first quarter of the game and stay in the game.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Being fed and everything. All right, next precept is coming from the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3 and verse 9. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to the saints, and he hath care for his elect.
So yeah, they that put their trust in him. How do you put your trust in the Lord? By putting your trust in his word.
Right.
In the instruction manual. And when you put your trust in his word, the Lord will give you that understanding. And those that be faithful in love, or being faithful, is pretty much following these instructions or your commandments. That's why the Lord say, the love of the Lord is doing His commandments. Brooklyn Bird phrase, he got grabbed it a minute ago.
Yep.
But if you love
me, keep my commandments.
Yep, that's being faithful in love. And grace and mercy is going to be for the saints, which is the elect whom the Lord cares for. So ultimately, it's going to be the elect who truly trust in the Lord who's going to be able to follow these instructions. Because somewhere else, everybody else going to break along the way. You know, they may follow instruction 1 through 100, but they're going to break at 101.
Look at that Hamite. He couldn't stop staring at us.
Oh, yeah.
What are you doing? What are you reading?
Hey, that was a good impersonation, too.
He just couldn't stop looking at us, man. Oh, man, it's locked.
Oh, no, it's all good.
All right. Next precept, was you done on that, bro?
Oh, yeah, that was
all
it.
Right. The next precept is coming from the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2 and verse 10. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him?
So again, who put trust in the Lord and was confounded?
Right.
Was trusting in the Lord, trusting in His word, following the instructions. What does it mean to abide in His fear? Well, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Wisdom is how you move. Because you fear the Lord, you're going to follow His instructions. Hey, if you put a table together and you're scared, like, man, I don't want the table to break, so I'm going to make sure I follow the instructions correctly. Well, that's what it means to abide in the fear of the Lord. You fear Him, so you're going to follow His instructions A to a T. And whomever did He despise that called upon Him. Hey, because it's written in the instructions to call upon His name. So all of that really is summarized by trusting in the word. You know, following what's written. And because in doing so, nobody's going to be offended. Nobody's going to be ashamed. The Lord ain't going to let us down. But trusting in the word, we're going to be rewarded with our life. Not trusting in it, and you're going to be punished by death.
And nobody, and you know, those that are truly calling on Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua in true faith and sincerity, seeking Him, fearing Him, doing everything in their power to get His attention, you know, trying to get on His nerves in a righteous way.
Yep.
You know, if you're a part of that elect number, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, you know what I'm saying? It's already written that you're going to be taken care of. Yep. You're going to have food when people are hungry. You're going to have drink when people are thirsty. You know what I'm saying? When people are mourning, you know what I'm saying? We're going to be laughing. You know, when all this judgment is going out, we are going to be those, Lord willing, we're a part of that number. We're going to be amongst those believers that's going to be taken care of. So, you know, we're going to end it off on that note. I hope that this lesson is edifying. You got anything?
That was it.
All right, we're going to face the east. Give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakak Radash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, teach well, teaching His truth in its entirety. Shalom to the brothers that's out there on the highways and hedges, making their bodies a living sacrifice. And also peace and salutation to the elect. And also before we cut the cameras off, you know, if you know about this truth, you watching this truth, you know, it's time to turn your feet to the testimony. You know what I'm saying? It's time to make your call and election sure. Do as much as you can for Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. You know what I'm saying? Get fully involved in this truth. Be fully persuaded in your mind that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is on his way back. You know, because when it's too late, it's going to be the last late that, you know what I'm saying, that this world has ever seen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to end it off on that note. Shalom.
All right, shalom.